Hi everyone, I welcome you all to another episode of Expert Roundup, and today we have very special guest with us, a team from Seller Board. So I would love to welcome Ryan here. He's from Seller Board, and Jenny will also join us. The Seller Board team is here. You can put your queries. They are going to show you what Seller Board is, how amazing Seller Board can make your Amazon reports, and what Seller Board has to offer. So I welcome Chris here. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hi, doing great. It's wonderful meeting you backstage before we started here, and looking forward to talking about Sellerboard today.
Yeah, I'm willing to know what seller board is and what difference it can create and how it can make sellers' life easy. So would you like to share about your experiences, how you started with your Amazon journey, how you come to create an idea when it's come to build a tool for Amazon sellers, and how to like with this tool, how it can help sellers to make their life easy?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So again, my name is Christopher Ryan. I'm the Senior Marketing Advisor for Sellerboard. And before working at Sellerboard, I actually owned my own Amazon-based company, and we did over 7 figures of US dollars annually, and just recently sold that company about 7 months ago. And after selling the company, I discovered Sellerboard, and I realized that if I had been using Sellerboard instead of 3 or 4 different pieces of software in my Amazon business, I would have saved about $400 a month. And that was something that was very surprising to me. And I began to get very passionate about the software. And then I met the two founders, Michael and Vladdy, and we hit it off. And I just really love the fact that it offers so many different things. So Sellerboard is a software and mobile application with profit analytics, inventory management, advertising optimization, listing change alerts, scheduled customer messaging, request to review automation, and money back made easy for Amazon-based businesses. And the thing I loved the most was the fact that they give a free trial. We'll talk about that later. And the plans after the free trial only start at $15 a month. And Vladdy was an Amazon seller himself, the co-founder. And he realized when he first started, like everybody starting a business, we're putting money into inventory, we're putting money into advertising, we're putting money into launch costs. And to have to spend $100 on a profit dashboard per month is a lot for anybody that's first starting a business with little resources. So that's how Sellerboard was birthed. And Vladdy had a lot of experience in the software industry, and the co-founder, Michael, as an accountant. So they have these minds coming in with real life experience when he had the business at the time and all their past work experiences. And that's kind of how Sellerboard became a part of the community. And I just love the fact that anybody can get started and it's not going to break the bank. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, and we can start going through the different features.
Yeah, would love to.
Right. Okay. Can you see my screen here?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
see your screen.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to start off on sellerboard.com. And again, even if you don't sign up for a trial, you can actually go through this demo version with a demo set of data without even signing up for a free trial. So we're going to start off in the dashboard. Basically, the first feature that Sellerboard offered and the main feature of Sellerboard is our profit analytics tool. So we're going to start off in the tiles category here. So as you can see, it will show you the different date metrics that you would be looking for as a business owner. So right now we're looking at today's sales, we're looking at yesterday's sales, we're looking at this month's sales, the forecast, which takes past information and will actually give you a forecast for the future, and we're looking at last month. Currently in this, the way it stands right here is we're looking at all of our products, we're looking at all of our marketplaces. Another nice thing about Sellerboard is we do support the Amazon marketplaces internationally. So not just in North America, not just in Europe, but internationally, we support all the different marketplaces. So we have the tiles up here that shows you the overall gross amount of all your different sales over all your different products, the orders, the units, the refunds, the advertising cost that's gone into those sales, and even the estimated payout, which of course is a really important thing, because that's how much money you're going to be getting to put into your business, reinvest into your business, and pay yourself. As we scroll down, you can see we can go through each individual item that's in your Amazon marketplace or marketplaces, depending on how you're looking at it. And this is the area that shows the cost of goods. We'll go over a little bit later how much stock there is, and just gives you kind of an overall idea of what's going on with that particular product. All right, let's talk about charts.
The tiles looks really cool, and you just have to connect your account with Seller Board, right? Your Amazon Seller Central account.
It's so easy. Basically, Seller Board has a working relationship with Amazon, so that's really important for everybody out there that's a business owner to know that. And so they do work directly with AWS within Amazon. So when somebody signs up for a trial or signs up for a plan, all you have to do is connect it in the back end of Seller Central with the token code, and it will auto-populate all this information for you. So it's kind of plug and play, you would say. So the chart feature, this is kind of what you would look for in a traditional business in the past from your QuickBooks Online or your zeros, but we actually do populate all this information for you. So you can take a look. The red is representing the advertising costs. You have the circle representing your units, and of course the most important thing is your net profit. And again, it's very customizable. You can look at what this is including. If you have different people that are partnered with you or working together, you can download the table. So there's just a lot of different things that you can work on. But at the very least, as we were kind of talking about before, you can just go in daily or weekly or however you want to check it, or have one of your team members check it, and you can kind of see your overview. All right, so P&L. So obviously, like, if your business grows, we still recommend you using a proper accounting program like a QuickBooks Online. But when you're first getting started, it's not really 100% necessary, as long as you're keeping track of everything and you're doing good accounting at the end of the year or monthly, depending on what your country expects from you when it comes to taxes. But just to see a quick overview, instead of having a virtual assistant or having somebody work directly for your team, you can see this kind of like in a P&L form, like you would see in a traditional bookkeeping program or accounting program, which is really amazing. And like everything else, you can just start clicking on the different things that are represented here, and you can kind of see how that breakdown actually happened, which is really important, because sometimes there'll be anomalies that don't make sense, and you don't understand why you're down in certain categories. So this is a P&L, and again, same thing. We can download it here to Excel if needed, and there's a lot of different ways we can configure the P&L. Trends, especially if you have a seasonal business, or maybe if you have things that are sold at the end of the year during Q4, this can be really important for you. We have different things when it comes to sales, units, orders, all these different fields right here that we can look at, and it kind of tells us a story. We can take a look and see, maybe with the carton of black boxes here, we just started a new aggressive advertising campaign, and this is exactly what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this trend starting to go up, so we can cause and correlate and know that aggressive advertising campaign actually was effective. Maybe we're kind of wondering, why is this red box, starting to flatline, and potentially somebody missed an inventory restock, or maybe we have an issue with logistics, and this is why it's happened. But as the person at the top of the ladder, as the owner, or maybe a management position, these are the type of things that maybe your team is missing, and you can start seeing it for yourself and then find out and get to the root of the problem. So trends is very important as well.
Yeah, it seems like a very important data to see for any seller. And I just want to ask, how you people populate all this data here on seller board dashboard? How you populate this?
So it's the same answer as last time, which is what anybody that might be a potential user wants to hear. is it happens automatically. So it's basically taking the direct data from Amazon Seller Central, and depending on the category, it updates between every 15 minutes and every 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it just takes all that information that sometimes can be difficult to understand within Seller Central when it's all over the place in different areas, and they change it, they update it, and we take all the data and we populate it in a way that's very palpable for anybody that's running a business.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, let's take a look at products. So basically here is where you're populating. So I should clarify. So anything from Amazon is coming directly from Amazon. But here's a good example of something that you do have to put in information to, so we can look at the right profit margins in the dashboard. So I apologize. So products, this is a great segue, because when we're looking at our jewelry packaging gift box, for example, we have to tell Seller Board how much it actually costs. And we can break it down as simple or as complicated as we want. So sometimes you're going to be paying a vendor via PayPal, so you might have a PayPal fee. Obviously, the most important thing is manufacturing and shipping. So we do have to have the user of the business go in there and populate these particular items, so we know exactly what the COGS are. And one cool thing is that you can actually change this too as you get more into your business for cost of goods per time frame. So if you have something that really takes off, like if you're selling USB fans that plug into your computer, and you have you've done 100 unit order, and they cost $5 each because you bought kind of a small amount, and they start selling really well, you go up to 500. They might cost you $3 a piece at that point.
Yeah.
So within Seller Board, as you get more advanced, you can actually make those changes, and it's by date. So then you can see the actual change instead of having to just change the whole metric for everything, which would be inaccurate, because then that would also change when it costs $5 a piece. But that's a little bit more complicated. We don't want
that's really a cool thing, right? You can change the prices with date. Probably I got an inventory for $10 a product on first of this month, and after 3 months I'm getting the same product for $8. So at that time my cost of goods has been decreased, but the time I bought it was $10, so I can see the real picture, and it's really cool actually. And I think it's super important that the seller needs to put data correctly here to see the right statistics.
It really is. And as we all know, once you're in business for a while, you need to look at the profit first. And if you're not looking at the profit first and understanding how you're going to be profitable, you can sell a lot, but you might not actually be making very much money. And I remember the piece of software that we used before understanding what Seller Board was. When I was a seller, we had to change the whole COG for the lifetime of that product, and we had to have a spreadsheet to complement. And it was a little bit arduous and took us a lot of time. So yeah, I'm very appreciative as well, just as a former seller, to see that features is active for us. So let's take a look at expenses, because we're talking about COGS. So other expenses. So this is another cool thing, because you can, as we said, like I definitely recommend if you're getting into 6-figure, 7-figure USD in your business, to continue to look at Xero and QuickBooks Online. But until you're at that point, you can really use Seller Board to track every type of expense in your business, and you can still use it while you have those other mediums as well. So if you have a warehouse cost, let's say you're doing FBM, we talked a little bit about FBM before the call. You're going to have some sort of lease agreement or some sort of agreement with the warehouse or the warehouse company. You have rent, if you have an office, accounting software, if you have the QuickBooks Online, for example, tax consultant, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you put all these different expenses in.
Can I add more columns here as well?
Yes. So what you would do is, so this is just the demo version. So it's populating the line items that we've already put into Seller Board on this demo account. But all you do is you just go down here, and if this was a live version of the software, you would just push add, and then you would go ahead and add in exactly what type of expense it is. You can set it to one time or recurring. So then if it's a recurring cost, it's kind of like one and done until you change it. And then you would just hit the save button.
Okay, so this is a perfect thing, right? To record an expenses. If you have a recurring cost, then you need to add as a recurring expense. If you have a one-time cost, you need to add it as a one-time expense. So it would be charged one time, like it would be showed as a one-time cost, and if it's a recurring, probably a seller board subscription. So I need to pay $15 every single month. So it will be adding until unless I don't change the price. This is really cool.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and
But
again, I agree. I was just so excited about it when I found out about it because this is not normal, for a lot of the pieces
yeah,
of software in our industry. So again, one of the founders has accounting experience, and so that's a real big benefit for us. And we just trying to make a very user friendly platform. So that's expenses. Now stock, as we all know. I was in consumables, and most of my products were sold all year long. So I would see a bump in quarter 4 because everyone's on Amazon buying more things in quarter 4. But a lot of times,
definitely.
yeah, definitely, it's funny how that is. I guess if you have a lot of people running to a store, they're going to buy other products besides gifts, even if they're there to buy gifts. So, so basically, there is other businesses that will revolve around a holiday. Yeah. So let's say that it's revolved around a particular holiday in December, and you will see maybe year 1 that you have a certain amount of sales, but year 2 you had more sales. So you went from 100 sales in December of 2019 to 300 sales in December of 2020, and then you get some more sales going into next year. It's always going to be different. Even the largest companies in the world have a hard time keeping everything in stock in Amazon or in brick and mortar stores. So basically, what Sellerboard does is no matter if you have a consistent type of sales pattern or if you have an inconsistent type of sales pattern month to month, after you put in the information, you're able to see exactly what and when you should do reorders and when you should be preparing for that. So when you put in how many days it'll be production. So this is a good manufacturer. If it only takes 35 days to turn around a product, I would be very excited about that manufacturer. So in this case, for this piece of data in this item, it was 35 days. You put in how many days to the prep center, the restock date, or I'm sorry, how many times you want to, if you have a certain amount of units, it's going to last you that many days, and then the shipping to FBA, because sometimes FBA, especially in quarter 4, is going to take a good amount of time, but you would probably put an average there.
I would say it took ages to get inventory when it's Q4. Oh my God. It was the worst time to send in inventory.
Oh
If
my
you are
goodness.
stock out during Q4, oh, you are at mercy of Amazon. It would take
Exactly.
ages to get your inventory realized.
We
Oh,
would,
so
yeah,
painful.
it's frustrating. Yeah, we would definitely have inventory going in prior to quarter 4 starting just to avoid that. But we had spreadsheets. So in our company, I was using spreadsheets. My business partner was the one that was in charge of that, and we'd have to take a look at this, weekly. And it was a manual input for us. And once you do the manual input in Seller Board, it'll tell you exactly what's going on. It will tell you if you're running out of stock, it's a time to reorder, the recommended quantity for reordering. And again, these are all things that are very important, but they're linear tasks. And
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense for the owner to spend time on this, or your head manager of operations. It's much better if you can automate or semi-automate. So after you put the correct information in, we act as your Amazon robot, and we tell you exactly what's going on with your stock.
And I think this is by far one of the most important thing when you are seller on Amazon selling. Either you are selling 5 figure, 6 figure, seven figure. You need to know when you need to make your orders. It's super important. You like at any cost, you don't need to stock out. So if you have the quantity in front of you, okay, probably after a month I'm going to stock out, and before that I need to place an order, or either if I have a less time, I have a good sales quantity going on. Probably I need to order few of my inventory through air or any other fast means of transport. So this seems really helpful, because before this, even though I always used to manage inventory planning on my spreadsheets, and it's super consuming. I became tired of using spreadsheets, highlighting columns, highlighting days, and recording everything. Okay, this day I have this much order and I have sold this much unit. Okay, this is what I am left with. Calculating on a calculator, it makes me so tiring. I was like, oh my God, this is so painful just to calculate how much inventory I have in stock every single day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's something to be said with the task that drains you of energy and drains
Yep.
you of passion. And that's kind of an intangible that you can't really figure out exactly how much money you're losing because of that. But it's a real thing. We only have a certain amount of
Yes.
bandwidth as owners. And you'd rather be listening to Joy Division or Green Day, at the end of the day on your Tidal or Spotify than doing this sort of thing. Because it would be nice to enjoy the fruits of your labor, correct?
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, it gets pretty advanced, and you can do a lot of different things in this particular part of our software and stock. But this is just the overview to show you exactly how, it's semi-automated / automated for your business. We have also something that's in beta, and any seller board customer can request getting this opened up within their platform. And this is really cool too, because it's the PPC module. And I don't have all the functions in this demo piece, but basically you can ask, once you put all the different metrics in, or the metrics are populated within Amazon Seller Central from your campaigns, you can set this on automatic. And we have basically like a slow speed, a medium speed, and the fast speed to get the results that you're looking for. And this is in beta right now, but it's been being used by a lot of our customers effectively and efficiently. And so I just wanted to mention it because
could you get into more detail regarding this one specifically? Because I think more and more people are like into this specifically. They would love to hear this, what it's going to offer, and how soon it's going to be released.
Yeah. So again, basically, if you're a customer, it is released. You can start using it in beta. It will start actually working in your Amazon Seller Central right now. So that's pretty exciting for any paying customer. You can see from here, since we don't have all the settings, it's a little bit difficult for me to get into an extreme amount of detail. But basically, you have 3 different settings that you can pick from. You put in any type of metrics that you're looking at doing. For example, when I was launching a product, and let's say I had a broad group with 3 different products, but they were kind of associated, I would go really aggressive in the beginning, because we wanted to get that product on page 2 or page 1 of Amazon for our keywords, for a bunch of different keywords, and we were okay with maybe breaking even on that sale, especially because we were in consumables, because we knew that customer is going to come back and buy more. We had some customers that would buy from us monthly, and so that would be an example. If these 3 products were new and they're complementary products, they're in a broad group, I would go with the fast or like the aggressive mode. If it's a more established product, let's say if it's this carton of black boxes, when I would go into this area right here and set my fast, medium, or slow, and it's been on the market for 3 years. We got consistent sales. It's kind of a lower selling category, so we're not going to see a whole lot of growth, but it's making us profit. It's a real steady thing. I might set that on low because I only want to maybe have instead of this being here we go, ACoS at 8%. So I would only find it acceptable to have a 10% or lower ACoS, let's say. So after I put the information in there, I would probably put it on slow, or like non-aggressive mode, and that would allow us to get new customers. But I don't want my previous customers clicking on my advertisement, because that doesn't make sense, because they're going to go back and buy it organically or through the little link that Amazon sends out. So depending on what your game plan is for each product in your catalog, you'll decide on how aggressive you want to be. And this is cool too, because everybody wants to know what's going on in their business. And if you're reporting to somebody else, so let's say we have some people in the group that are doing a wonderful job for other Amazon businesses and they don't have one themselves, And the customer of theirs that does own the Amazon business that's linked into Seller Board is asking questions about, hey, what's going on? Why did this go up or why did this go down? Here's a log, so you can really go through and you can see exactly what our algorithm within our PPC tool is doing. And you're able to have a really intelligent answer for your client.
Yeah, seems like one, actually. This is really cool. I think I would say Sellerboard provides a one window solution for everyone who wants to have an eagle eye view on what's going on with their inventory, what's going on with their expenses, so they can always have an eagle eye view. Just simply tap on expense and everything would show up on your screen. Same for the stock, you would never run out of stock if you put everything accurately. And this PPC tool is pretty amazing itself. So you don't have to go to Amazon if you want to manage your PPC. You can simply manage everything from here. And for all of your client, you get the best possible answer from automation log as well. Why the campaign has like a huge bids going on, why the cost is going high. So it's really interesting, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. I think so as well. And this is another thing, coming from sometimes us sellers that started, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. For us, it was 7 years ago before I sold my business recently. We were doing this manually too. We were not even utilizing any type of software. And this is another thing that, instead of being at the large growth that we were at the end of the time when we sold our business, which we're very happy with, and we were very successful, and we're very thankful for the success that we had. We could have been to another level if we had done more automation and all these different things we're talking about, including the PPC automation, because as much as we want to think we're smarter than computers, and sometimes we are, there's certain things that computers don't have opinions about, and they're just taking the raw data and they're making a decision. And sometimes it's a decision in real time. So unless you're staying up 24 hours a day, you're not going to be able to make that decision as effectively as an algorithm that's going to make that decision for you. So I wish I had this when I was running my business, and I definitely think it's a great new feature within Seller Board.
No, but I would say here the time we people started, there was nothing like automation. Things were pretty simple. Everything has been used like we used to done everything on spreadsheets, and it was tiring. And now I see how automation has turned the game. The industry has become like within a few, like probably you would agree with me, like in early 2015 or 13 or 14, there was no such tool, right? I used to remember the tool Repricer, which I used, like we used in our dropshipping business most of the time, just to see the prices ups and down at the time. There was a Jungle Scout at the time as well, but nothing like this. A one window solution which provides each and everything for sellers just to make their life easy. And I think automation is the age. If you are not keeping up with the technology, if you're not using automation in your business, and if you are keep yourself busy with all the tedious reports and the sheet that you are managing yourself, it will be a killer. You won't grow. You won't be able to scale it up if you keep managing all the tiny thing possible on Amazon business or any other business. So
Absolutely.
automation is the age. So that's the age, I would say. A tool like
Absolutely.
this makes life easy. And I can see there is another tool called LTV. What is this? Seems like a very fun stuff.
Oh, okay. Let's do this. Okay. So, basically, it's funny in the 80s when MTV Music Television came to market, they had a hard time getting anyone to pick them up on the cable stations until Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones got behind the advertising campaign and asked
Yeah.
all the people watching TV to call your cable stations and say, I want my MTV. And the rest is history. MTV became a gigantic success and was on television all over the place. So we're not talking about MTV, we're talking about LTV. And LTV is extremely important because it is talking about customers and it's talking about viewers as well. And LTV stands for lifetime value. So this is in beta. But one of the coolest things about LTV, especially when you're in the consumable space, in my opinion, is it's giving you the data on how much the lifetime value is of each customer. So if we were going after a launch in a real aggressive way, like we're talking about when taking a new product to market, we can figure out if we're releasing a similar product. So if we had a jewelry box and then we were going to release a small brown jewelry box after we've already figured out this particular product.
Yeah.
We would already kind of understand the acquisition cost if we're using the seller board LTV tool on the original box that we were selling. So when we go into the launch the next time, or we go into the ongoing advertising campaign and everything we're doing from a marketing perspective, we know exactly how much we want to spend to acquire that customer. We know exactly how much it costs for each particular product. We can see in seller board, it shows us up here in the tiles in the last 24 months, how much sales we had per customer, 12, 6, and 3. And this is kind of giving you a good idea on how your company's trending when it comes to this as well. So we can look at it with as far as a revenue dollar amount. So this is like USD here in this example. We can look at it on a unit level, and we can look at how many actual orders that particular buyer is making in that particular time frame, 3, 6, 12, 24.
So it really helps to get the customer acquisition cost for each individual product.
Yeah, absolutely. I will tell you too, when you start growing your business, you will really have a much better understanding of where to put your advertising spend. You can really have a great understanding if you need to price your products higher, or if you're okay with testing out something maybe for 3 weeks or 4 weeks at a lower price point, once you understand this very important metric. Because if you're in consumables, or you're in a space where you think you're going to have repeat customers, you can be really aggressive with that initial sale for that customer. But you really want to know how much it is costing you and how much that customer is bringing back to you, and if they are going to be a repeat customer. And Amazon will give you this data, but you have to mine through reports and put it on a spreadsheet, and it takes a lot of time. And again, it's not work that's interesting. It's not work that's going to grow your business. So Seller Board just aggregates it into one place. So this is just gone into beta this week. So I wasn't planning on talking about it today, but I wanted to talk about it because you pointed it out. And
it's actually, I would say this is an amazing tool, because down the time you have been discussing LTV, I was thinking like probably it can help sellers. If I already launch one variation and now I'm going to add another variation or another variation, though the data this LTV is going to provide would definitely help me in understanding how much do I need to spend to acquire a single customer for my other products. So it's a valuable tool itself. So when you know the lifetime value, you can calculate things before launching another variation or the another product from the same niche or the same sizes.
Absolutely, and it's the same when you've got to the, let's say you get to the third stage of your business and you're at scale, or you're continuing to grow, and you're like, I want to sell my business. This is one of the most important things that you can be able to market your company when you're going to sell your business, to say, this is my customer acquisition cost. This is how many repeat customers I have. That is like the best thing you can possibly tell a potential buyer, because they understand right then and there, this person knows their business in and out. They're educated about their business. They're making educated decisions. And now I want to have a further conversation about potentially acquiring this business if it meets all the other requirements that I have. So just going through that sale of a business, and I've sold another business in the past, I know this is very important for potential acquisition, because maybe you're just starting today, but you want to sell in 5 years. You already know you want to build it up and sell. If you're looking at this information from the beginning, you're looking at it in the mid part of your business, or you're just about ready to sell, it's an important thing to look at no matter what.
And you're completely right on this. Like the lifetime span is very important for everyone who is in consumable space, like supplements or like food related products. So it is one of the core things they should know, how much my consumers are buying from me, how repeated are they buying. So everyone in consumable space, this is something they should know from day one.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. We'll look at one more feature here, unless you have any other questions. We're going to take a look at Autoresponder. So this is something that most people that are experienced sellers already understand, that you can contact your customers through Seller Central as a follow-up after they make an order. Well, this is probably one of the first things you want to automate. So we have an automation campaign called Autoresponder, and what we do is basically send out an automated message, and we're able to either have a customized message that's sent out, or you're able to just send out the template that Amazon gives us now that will send out a request a review message, or a request a seller feedback message. And actually, I believe both of them go out. Yes, both of them go out.
So I cannot. Okay, so basically, what Autoresponder is doing, like I don't have to use Amazon message request system, and I can access things from here instead of sending every single customer one by one messages. Can I make it like that? Is it possible? Probably 200 people have bought from me, and I just want to send review request to only 50. Is it possible I can do it?
So what we have right now is we have the feature to exclude repeat customers. We also are able to just basically go with a custom text or the standard review and feedback solicitation template that we were just talking about. So I'm not sure the answer to that question, but I'm sure that we can, when we have the question and answer later with Jenny, who's more on the technical part of the team, maybe she'll have an answer for us on that.
Perfect.
So I love this because, again, you know, we did have a follow-up tool that we were using, and we're paying a separate fee per month, and it made our business much easier to run. But when the request a review function came out originally, my business partner and I actually were either having to delegate this to a virtual assistant, or we were having to have my wife do it, or, you know, somebody that we could really trust mining through the customer orders and pushing the request a review button, because it's really effective. If you have a consumable product, or you have an awesome product like we were talking about before the call that people are really passionate about, you're going to get a lot of people that want to help your small business that's selling through Amazon by giving you a great feedback and a great review. And so we were seeing a lot of, like, if we had a 4-star overall rating on our product page and we started pushing the request a review button, we saw a lot of those go up to 4.5 stars. And these were products that had been out for 5 years, 6 years. And that, of course, we all know makes a huge difference in your sales. And so the fact that now Sellerboard has automated this, so you don't have to go into each order and you have to push the request a review button, which can take a long time, especially once you start scaling, and it's automatically sending these things out. I love it. And I would be using this particular template, the one that Amazon provides for us. And I would be having this sent out to my customers if I was still running my business that I've now sold today. So yeah, Autoresponder is an awesome feature within Sellerboard. So yeah, those are some of the main features that we wanted to go over today. Was there any other questions that you had before I exit the Sellerboard demo?
No, I think we are good with it. So you have almost covered all important feature of Sellerboard, from managing and stock to regarding our expenses, to see the daily reports that you have to share on Sellerboard dashboard. So guys, I just want to make an announcement that the team Sellerboard has offered 2 months of free subscription for free access to the premium Sellerboard account. And here is the detail showing up on your screen, which is sunnyali.com/Sellerboard. Whoever wants to get free like 2 months. Okay, normally company gets an access of like 15 days or 1 week trial. So here the deal is completely different. You are getting 2 months of free subscription. You can use it like as much as you want for straight 2 months, and from 2 months, after 2 months, the packages start from $15, right, Chris?
That's right. Yeah, we have plans starting at only $15 a month, and I've kind of coined this new phrase that Sellerboard is genuinely the most affordably effective tool for Amazon sellers of all size.
Indeed, I would say there is no tool working on such prices, like $15 for so much automation.
It's
and
crazy.
2 months of free trial. What else if someone wants to make their business automated?
Again, it's like coming from the traditional business world. Before I was an Amazon seller, I sometimes was managing teams of 40 people, and we always had to think about hiring somebody else, which still is the case for some jobs and some tasks even today. But if you can figure out how to semi-automate or automate a task in your business, and then you're making that hire for somebody in a higher level situation that's going to help you actually move the needle, that's what you want to do. So we always want to start out with semi-automated or automated solutions, and that's what Sellerboard is. And once you sign up for the free trial, we don't even ask for your credit card right away either.
Yeah.
We don't even ask for the credit card.
Like, even I told you before the call, I've been using Sellerboard for around about 8 or 9 months, and I'm pretty much satisfied with the service.
Great.
I absolutely loved it. Like, I absolutely loved it for so many reasons. That everything is so simple. Everything is on my Eagle View, eye view. Like, I can, so I just simply have to open or log in into my seller board dashboard, and I can see the tile, and I can see each and everything. I know how much I'm making today, what was my previous day's sale, what was my 7 day, 15 day, 1 month, and I can see the forecasting number. Okay, and it gives me a hope. Probably this month I can score 20,000 easily.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it feels really good to know that you're in control of your business. You can
Yeah,
understand your
absolutely.
metrics, and the forecasting even shows you what what Sellerboard is aggregating, and they think is going to be your total at the end of the month, and that helps you make those decisions that are so difficult as an owner. Should I order more inventory? Should I maybe actually take some money out of the business so I can go to a concert or take my family on vacation?
Yeah.
And if you make those decisions and then 2 months or 2 weeks later you realize you made a bad decision because you didn't make it based on data, then that vacation doesn't feel as good because you made a mistake. So when you have an educated person at the
Yeah.
helm of your business, such as yourself or one of your managers, then you can make much better decisions.
So here, guys, on my screen, you can see once you sign up with the link that I have shared, sangeeta.com/sellerboard, here you will see 2 months free trial, no credit card required, cancel anytime. You just have to tap and try for free, and you would get your access to 2 straight months of Sellerboard, which is pretty amazing deal, I would say. No doubt, it's an amazing deal to have 2 months straight access. And definitely during this 2 month, it is going to help your business a lot in automizing things. I've been using it. You can know, like, I'm pretty much satisfied. I love it, I would say. So,
That's great.
Chris, I think we don't have much question. There were questions related to, most of the questions are related to the seller board packages. How much does it cost? How they can get access to it? And I think we have already answered this question, and we have already given a great detailed overview about seller board different offerings. So I think most of the questions are related to this. Okay. Okay, there is a question from their website is saying 1 month, and I already make it clear. Okay, so I think there is a question from Omar: how to best track purchase inventory cost COGS changes over time due to different reasons? How do you adjust for loss inventory cost?
Okay, so as far as lost inventory cost, it would depend on if the inventory was lost at your 3PL warehouse. If it was lost, so let's start there. If it was lost at your 3PL warehouse, so outside of Amazon, or at your internal warehouse or your house or whatever you're having your inventory, maybe your cat got into it, and destroyed your inventory. I mean, if you're in soft goods, that could actually happen. You would have to put that in the P&L portion of Sellerboard. You would put that as an expense that month, and it would have to populate that way. If it was something that Amazon actually made a mistake with at the FBA warehouses, then that would actually go into your Sellerboard automatically. So if they lost inventory, they reimburse you for it. All that would be notated automatically within Sellerboard. And one of the features that we didn't go through today is called the money back feature. And every now and then, Amazon will lose your inventory and non-intentionally not reimburse you for that inventory. And if you run the money back report, let's say once a quarter, once a month, depending on the size of your business, we will make sure that we find any of those pieces of inventory that were lost and you weren't reimbursed for, even returns that you weren't reimbursed for that actually came back or didn't come back rather to the FBA warehouse. So If it's internally at Amazon, the short answer is it will automatically be notated within Sellerboard. If it's external and it's something that's going on through you at your place or at your 3PL, then you would just have to notate that in the profit and loss section of Sellerboard.
Well explained. We have another one from Imran. He said, "Will seller board system will automatically pick up all Amazon fees and plug them into the dashboard, or the statistics, or we have to do it manually?"
Yeah, great question. And if that's your baby, that is a incredibly cute baby. So thanks for sharing that with everybody in your profile picture.
Yeah.
So it will automatically populate within Sellerboard. So we don't have to worry about that.
Perfect. So, Chris, thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for sharing a detailed and overview of Seller Board. And I hope more and more people will get sign up to it, because it's offers such a great automation, and it makes a seller life easy for every seller who wants to make their life easy. Simply go and check Seller Board out, sign up for 2 months free access, and I would say after 2 months, go pay them and enjoy the services for the rest of your life. Even though for every month, not rest of the life, people will pick my thing and they start saying, "You have already mentioned that it's for rest of life, and we are going to use it." Oh my god!
No, exactly. I appreciate that. And like I said, I mean, I didn't have to even work right after I sold my business at all. And I'm really passionate about this company because I really think we're doing a service to the community. You know, people just getting started, and we have very large experienced people working with us as well, with very large stores. You don't have to pay a lot for this automation, so might as well start with us. Give us a try. If you like it, if it works for you, if it helps you save you time, it helps streamline things in your business. You have 2 months. I mean, that's a long time, and we're not even asking for the credit card up front. So it's really nothing to lose. And we're doing that 2 months for Extreme Commerce. They've been a wonderful partner of Seller Boards, and we wanted to pass on something special to everybody in the Facebook group. So definitely looking forward to hopefully getting some new people in there, and really appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk to everyone today.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure you're here. And thank you so much. I wish you a success with Sellerboard new beta tools that you people have already rolled out. And I hope with time we can see more and more new innovation coming up with the Seller tool, like Sellerboard, like the specifically as you have introduced two new features, PPC and LTV, which both are amazing. Add on to the existing features. I hope to see more and more amazing stuff coming up from you guys. And definitely, it's pleasure having you here. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. Really appreciate it. And I know the founders, and they are not going to stop innovating. So don't you worry. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.